Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neil and I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi,
not Shang-Chi. That's a different movie. That is the Asylum.
That's his cousin.
That's the Asylum version.
Oh, Asylum version?
Yeah. This is Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. We're going to talk about the predictions for this weekend. Not good unless you're Disney, when you always look on the bright side of things.
Well, no, it's not that they look on the bright side of things. They try to find the spin.
Yeah. Disney's like, hey guys, it's going to be the best opening Labor Day weekend ever. It's not going to take much. Labor Day weekend historically is a dead zone. Studios don't release major films on Labor Day weekend because everybody's out having barbecues and stuff.
Right. So the narrative that's starting to be spun now is, oh my God, Shang-Chi is going to be the biggest Labor Day blockbuster ever. Except, like you said, it's not going to take much.
It's the biggest Christmas Day opening ever.
No, it's the biggest, opening on a, Tuesday at 5 o'clock in the spring during a eclipse ever.
Exactly. That's how they're going to spin it. So really, it's going to massively underperform. I don't think anybody expected this one to be another Avengers, but, it's a character that's unproven, and there's a general lack of interest in this movie.
To be fair, they're not exactly doing their best to promote it either.
No, to be fair, Disney has already kind of stepped over this one.
Yes.
They've already started going into the promotional tour for the Eternals.
They're ramping the hell up out of that one because that's so diverse and inclusive.
Because India, I think it's about India, and it does look like a Bollywood superhero movie.
It's just they're clear what their priorities lie. I think that's kind of why the actor behind it, is kind of upset and saying some things he probably shouldn't say. But I think it's because he's like, well, what the hell, Disney? You're just like literally like throwing us to the wolves, and
Yeah. But of course we know what's gonna happen, right? It's gonna be racism and misogyny.
Right. Oh, Delta variant.
Oh, the Delta variant and also rain.
It'll be the next story. It's the biggest opening on Labor Day, and it's the biggest weekend in the pandemic ever. No, they can't because Black Widow is still going to beat it. But before we get into it any further,
please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We're over 234,000 subs. Thank you so much for the support. Yeah, where's your woohoo?
Sorry, I was thinking about something. So go ahead.
Okay, woohoo.
I was just going to say that people keep saying, well, you just hate on Shang-Chi. It's like, we haven't seen the movie. It could be a good movie. Our pointing this stuff out is nothing to do with Shang-Chi as much as it has to do with we're pointing out the narratives and the way Disney behaves and the way they're projecting things, the way it isn't going to probably do well because of unproven characters and where they're headed with Phase 4 and things like that. It has absolutely nothing to do with the actual film or the actors behind it, contrary to what a lot of dipshits try to say.
Yeah, speaking of dipshits, there's this TikTok video.
I was going to bring that up. Go for it.
TikTok video going around. There's this woman who's angry at Target for putting the Shang-Chi toys, including the rows and rows of Marvel's Katie, putting them on clearance. And of course, this happens a couple days before the movie comes out, but people who have been paying attention will realize that those toys have been on clearance for months.
We've been saying it for weeks now.
Months, and she's angry at Target because somehow Target is
racism. And it's like, no, it's called really stupid move on the part of the studios because they pushed it back really far, but the stores and the toy distributors still had release dates, and they adhered to their dates. Well, then you have toys on a shelf for a movie no one really knows much about.
I was just sitting here thinking, because I was calling it Shang-Chi for the longest time because of Shang Tsung from Mortal Kombat. And I was thinking about Mortal Kombat. I'm like, remember when Mortal Kombat came out and they had an unproven Asian male lead and the movie still made a lot of money for what it was? Disney doesn't.
Nuh-uh.
Disney doesn't remember.
They just invented this. It's all diversity. It was just invented now.
Remember all those
in the
Bruce
last
Lee
couple
movies?
years. Yeah, it's only been the last couple years.
Jackie Chan movies.
I was thinking Jackie Chan.
Yeah, no,
just
but
the last
they
couple
don't remember.
years.
They don't remember. Anyway,
no, I do remember because they have an homage to Jackie Chan in this movie with one of the fight scenes. So they do remember.
Homage.
Homage.
Just do what Jackie Chan does because that made money.
Pretty much. So they do remember. They do remember.
Yeah, they probably also remember Snake Eyes, too. Which, yeah.
Well, that was because it didn't matter about him being Asian so much.
Yeah,
if they had just kept the story and kept the character's character, it would have been okay. But they didn't. So anyway, back to Shang-Chi. So now the narrative that is being spun is, oh my God, it's going to break Labor Day weekend records at the box office. Holy shit. Except that's not a big deal.
Yeah, this is not Memorial Day weekend we're talking about, right? Memorial Day weekend records, that would be huge. Because that's everybody goes to the movies Memorial Day weekend. Labor Day, nobody gives a shit. They're having a picnic.
They're trying to get the rest of the summer in.
Yeah, they're trying to cram in
getting their yard put together.
One last camping trip, one last picnic, one last barbecue. Kids are going back to school. Yeah, they're not going to go venture out in the middle of the pandemic and go watch Shang-Chi and the numbers that Disney would like to see.
Which that'll be, when it doesn't do well, that'll be the next excuse, this Delta variant.
Yeah.
So now what's going on is they're saying this. Okay, but we're like, oh my God, it's going to break Labor Day weekend records. Okay, except the record right now currently sits with Halloween from 2007, and its weekend domestic gross was over 30 million. That's it.
Yeah, this is Labor Day weekend. Usually September in general is sort of where they dump movies that they don't think are going to perform any other time of year. It is a dead zone. Like even, the end of October, they'll bring out horror movies and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but it's
towards
that
Christmas and Thanksgiving, they'll bring out blockbusters. Memorial Day, they do blockbusters. 4th of July, at that time, they do blockbusters.
Yeah. So this is the dead zone between summer and holidays, when you get the bigger releases. Now, I remember when we were younger, they didn't have major blockbusters even at Christmas. That was like family movie time.
Yeah.
They bring out, the Disney animated movies. They bring out the Christmas movies.
But that was even until a couple years ago.
Yeah, and it wasn't until, I think, Lord of the Rings. And Lord of the Rings came out at Christmas time.
Oh, yeah.
And then they were like, oh, we can have a summer blockbuster in the winter, so let's do that with Star Wars, and let's do that with Marvel, and let's do that. And that's when that happened.
I agree with you. That's true.
Yeah, but it used to just be like Santa Claus, the movie. The Grinch.
Yes, there was all the holiday stuff. Yeah, so here are the holiday weekend for Labor Day. The next one was The Possession at 21 million, Transporter 2 at 20 million, and it goes down from there.
One Direction.
So, okay, so when you're saying it's going to be the biggest Labor Day box office weekend opening, it does not take much.
Yeah.
Especially for a Marvel movie. If it doesn't make that, that's sad, because even the lowest ranking Marvel movies did better than that opening weekend.
Yeah, so this is kind of a no-brainer. Now let's compare this to opening weekend for Marvel movies in general. Obviously Endgame is the big one, and Infinity War, and then Avengers. We go down to Black Panther. So let's go all the way down to the lowest opening.
Which you're looking at the column right. You're looking at this column right here.
This column right here is opening.
The opening
this
weekend.
Is Lifetime.
That's Lifetime. This is the weekend.
So to get down to Shang-Chi. I keep wanting to say Shang soon. Shang-Chi numbers. You have to go back to the very beginning of the MCU when the vast majority of people still didn't give a shit.
When they mostly talk about the last 10 years.
The last 10 years, yeah.
But it was down there too.
Avengers, post-Avengers. But yeah, Incredible Hulk with Ed Norton, which most people forget even exists.
Do they really?
Yeah, it's actually dead last. Then Ant-Man. Then the first Captain America movie. Then Thor. So we can see this is like... So Shang-Chi we're talking 35 to 55 million. It's not going to even do, I don't think, with the Incredible Hulk.
That's what they're estimating. It might do more. It depends on people if they're gonna go out, because unlike Black Widow, this one is not split release. And Black Widow with the split release did 80 million domestically on opening weekend with a split release.
But that was a known character. It was a spinoff of Avengers.
Right. So, I'm pointing it out. Well, they think Ant-Man did a 76, but that was like for,
that was
total. Yeah, for the both box offices. Now, here's what they're thinking is going to happen. They think that it's going to do an additional 40 million in overseas markets, so that it's going to be about 90 to 100 million total for both. Now, it's interesting about the international markets. They're playing 66% of the territories. We're talking South Korea, Japan. What did they say it was at? South Korea,
UK.
Japan, UK. China is not getting a release list right now. The market they pandered to, no release except for China yet.
Yeah, in this movie, this is another one of Disney's movies that was seemingly designed for Chinese audiences. And, they even brought in, a big Chinese actor. And it's not playing in China. That's
not yet.
That's going to be That's going to be kind of a complicated situation.
Yeah, and as it is, we've reported on it several times before. When they had the trailers out in China, the response wasn't that great.
No.
They basically didn't like the way it looked. They thought it felt like it was stereotyping. Things like that were the comments that were made. So we don't even have a Chinese release.
It looks too much like a video game, and they banned video games.
Oh, yeah.
That's what's going on.
I don't think that's what it is. But so anyway, Black Widow, which was split release, still did 80 million domestic first opening weekend. And now we have this other film that probably isn't even going to do. I think they're saying, what are they saying now? It's like 35 to 55.
Yeah, that's...
Or 40 to 55. They keep changing. It was 35 to 50, and now it's saying 35 to 55.
Yeah, 35 to 55 million domestic. So they've dropped this because this is actually was this the domestic total for, okay, it's lifetime, 100 to 165. Mm-hmm. If it does not perform that well, they said they're giving it a 45-day window. I gotta wonder if they won't, well, this is an interesting experiment, so they might not care.
Yeah, remember this is an experiment, yes.
Experiment, that's all it is to Disney, right? I have to wonder if they wouldn't dump it sooner, but who knows?
Yeah, well, they have to do the 45 because they I think they promised theaters.
Yeah.
But it's probably gonna is it gonna be one that they just put on Disney Plus for everyone, or is it one they're gonna put on Disney Plus Premier Access on top of it? And if that's the case, they better charge less for it because they're charging $30 for it because you get the same time it released in the theaters. Are they gonna turn around and do it Premier Access for lower price because it's already been in theaters for 45 days? Bet you they don't.
Yeah, no, they won't. And then they'll just dump it. Because here's the thing. I don't understand if the 45-day window included Disney Premier Access or if it's just 45 days until we dump it on Disney Plus.
I have no idea.
You know.
But yeah, you said that, but Disney and their experiment, and that is how they're treating it. Yeah. And they're stepping over it, and they're putting all their marketing into Eternals. And Shang-Chi, I think, had a better chance of being successful than the Eternals did.
If they had shown, because, okay, so looking at the TV trailers now, they're actually showing some of the special effects and the dragon and the whole, that stuff's kind of cool. If they had
led with that?
Yeah, if they had led with that, with the more fantastic elements, because the first couple of trailers, all I saw was a run-of-the-mill martial arts movie. No different than Snake Eyes. It was like, this looks like a very generic martial arts movie. If they had led with the more fantastic elements of it, I think people would have been on board
probably
sooner.
Yeah, and the same with Eternals. Their first trailer, it was like they're too busy trying to showcase all these, look how diverse and inclusive we are, that people were like, I don't know what the hell's going on. And then the latest trailer, people are more interested in because they can at least get a better idea of what the heck's going on. Like they answer the question, where the hell were they during Thanos, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. And if they had led with that, it might have got a lot more interest. I just don't think people care. So
I'm seeing a definite trend. Just in we do run the Disney blog. You run the Disney blog mostly, but I'm seeing a trend in a lack of interest in Marvel and Star Wars. Definite lack of interest in Marvel and Star Wars, and I think a lot of people have checked out from Marvel after Endgame. Some people are checking in on the Disney Plus shows, but then they've been kind of divisive too. They've split the fandom too. Even though they were viewed, you can see that there's, a lot of conversation about the direction that the MCU is headed in. And I think once the normies play catch up and they're like, oh yeah, all the characters we grew to love over the last 10, 15 years, yeah, they're gone. They're replaced, especially when Hawkeye comes out and Kate Bishop, and we know She-Hulk is probably going to replace Hulk, and people are just going to be like, yeah, Riri Williams, who cares? Why isn't it Tony Stark's daughter? Why is it Riri Williams?
They might care. I mean, I don't know. Depends how it's presented.
How the character, yeah. If they come off like they did in the comics, where it was just like, here are these new characters, you have to accept them or you're a bigot, that's different than like, okay, we're going to take these characters and actually make them good characters, and you're actually going to be invested in them.
It's all about approach.
It's all about the approach. Like, you can get away with, having stand-in characters if it's done organically and if it's done with a deft hand. But, we know Hollywood now is so ham-fisted. They just shove that ham right up your ass. And,
yep. That's not a good place for ham.
That's not a good place for ham. Some people have ham on their ass, too.
I do. I'd rather shove it down my mouth. That's just me.
Anyway.
I like ham.
Ham.
I know.
Ponyo.
Her daughter likes ham.
We just
too.
watched Ponyo, a week or so
That's
ago.
because she likes Ponyo.
She loves Ponyo. Are we going to wrap this one up?
Yep.
Okay, so there it is, guys. It's gonna be Schrodinger's box office opening.
The biggest Labor Day weekend opening ever.
Yeah, it's not gonna take much.
Disney and Spin.
Disney and Spin.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Is that like Netflix and chill?
Yeah, Disney and Spin.
We're gonna wrap it up.
Yep.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.
Bye.